Hello, my name's Angelique Post from Ferrets Market Research, and it's my pleasure today to present you with the Queensland Regional Profiles. What we'll cover today are the aims and objectives of the profiles, the structure and the main components, how you'll navigate around the profiles, and how the data is presented to you. We'll then look at the individual topic areas and what the information is that they contain. And then finally, I'll provide you with an avenue to provide feedback, gain further support, and share your stories about how you're using the data so that we can then share that with others and build data capabilities within the organisation. The Queensland Regional Profiles have been developed to enable a greater understanding of the unique characteristics of the regions of Queensland and the people that reside within them. They are available for use throughout the organisation. There are 19 profiles in total covering the whole of Queensland. Each profile covers a geographic area known as an SA4 or Statistical Area 4. This is a boundary developed by the Australian Bureau of Statistics and is used by many government and other agencies. Within each SA4, there are smaller areas known as SA3s, and then SA2s, which are smaller again. Each fits inside the other. If all the SA2s were shown on a map, it would look like a jigsaw puzzle. Further explanation of statistical areas is provided in the user guide within each profile. Please note there may be several regional profiles or SA4s covering one RAQ region. The profiles have been compiled for the use by all RAQ employees, and they aim to achieve a number of objectives. They aim to provide a more intimate understanding of the characteristics of each region and highlight those areas which face the greatest challenges within the region. They aim to assist in identifying areas of need, determine possible gaps in service offering, and pursue areas of opportunity. They aim to enable better decision making and planning for improved service delivery and capital investment. And they also assist in winning federal, state and local government funding by demonstrating and proving local knowledge and expertise. We'll now cover the structure and main components of the dashboard. The profiles have been developed in Excel, but essentially operate like a web page. The main components of the profiles are the front page or dashboard page, the topic tabs, the qualitative tab, the data index, and the user guide. The front page or dashboard page provides a general overview of the region. It includes a map of the SA4 boundary and the SA3s within. There is also a link to the Australian Bureau of Statistics interactive map if users would like to zoom in and view the area in greater detail. Commentary by topic provides a quick acquaintance with the region, highlighting some areas of significance. Commentary by SA3 provides a brief overview of each SA3 in terms of population size and the number of SA2s it contains. The topic tabs, population, Indigenous, employment, etc. contain detailed analysis by SA4, SA3 and noteworthy SA2s within the region. The qualitative tab is an open area where users can enter comments and observations about their region. These may link back to the data and help to build a complete body of local knowledge. The data index page is a complete list of data sources, the date and frequency of new data releases. The frequency of updates within the profiles is yet to be determined and will depend on how widely and often they are used. While much of the information is sourced from the Australian Bureau of Statistics census, which is conducted every 5 years, several other data sources are released on a monthly, quarterly, or yearly basis. The data is also referenced throughout the profiles. The user guide is located at the top left of the screen and includes a brief overview of the information contained in this training module. It also provides the author contact details for further queries, suggestions and feedback. You can navigate around the dashboard by using the topic tabs at the top or via the tabs at the bottom. Each topic area has a related data sheet where the data for the chart sits. These data sheets are hidden from view. All worksheets except the qualitative tab are protected to ensure there are no accidental changes. The qualitative tab is left unprotected. This allows users to enter their own information in here, such as observations, news articles, and any other anecdotal information. This is a very important aspect of the profiles, as it helps to build essential grassroots knowledge of the region. Under each topic tab and where possible, information is first presented at the SA4 level, and then it is followed by information at the SA3 level. Noteworthy SA2s are presented within each SA3. In most instances, data is presented in bar charts, as this is the best way for users to make a quick and accurate comparison between statistical areas and against the Queensland average. Extensive commentary is also included to ensure a full and accurate understanding of the data. Where proportions and absolute numbers are both important measures, or rate and number of applications in this instance, a dual axis chart is used. Areas of extreme disparity are highlighted in red text, so users can become quickly acquainted with the challenges when they first look at a region. There are 9 broad topic areas within each profile. These are the population profile, Indigenous, employment, CIFA, Department of Social Services payments, education and child development, access and inclusion, gambling, DV and crime. We'll now cover each of these in more detail. Population profile. This tab covers the population by remoteness areas, the total population of the area, the population growth rates, and the population by age structures. Within the remoteness areas, we focus particularly on the remote and very remote populations. This is because these present unique challenges in RAQ service delivery. Indigenous. We cover here the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander populations separately. We look at their individual characteristics. Where the incidence of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples is low, however, only the proportions of the populations are shown in this section. Please also note that we've used the word Indigenous for succinctness throughout the profiles. Employment. This tab covers unemployment rates, unemployment trends, the top 4 employing industries, and the proportion of families where no parent is employed. Within each SA3, a bar chart is provided which highlights the SA2s that have above average unemployment rates. Line charts are provided which also show the trend in unemployment for that SA4 and SA3 over the past few years. The brown line is the region itself, and it compares against the grey line, which is the Queensland average. Let's look now at CEFA. Socioeconomic Indices for Areas, or CEFA, is a summary measure derived from the census and it broadly helps to determine the relative disadvantage of an area in terms of its people's access to material and social resources, as well as their ability to participate in society. CEFA is a combination of 4 different indices and focuses on low-income earners, relatively lower education attainment, high unemployment, and dwellings without a motor vehicle. A CEFA chart is provided and divides the population into quintiles or fifths. Those quintiles range from the most disadvantaged to the least disadvantaged in the area. This page also covers other aspects separately, such as dwellings without a motor vehicle, rates of homelessness in the area, internet access, proportion of one-parent families, and the tenure type, such as those in rented dwellings. These are not always markers of disadvantage, and they should be viewed in relation to the particular location. For example, high proportions of households without a motor vehicle in the inner city doesn't necessarily pose high levels of disadvantage, and this is due to the access to public transport. DSS payments, or Department of Social Services payments. We cover here the age pension, the carer's allowance, the disability support pension, the family tax benefit A, and the New Start allowance. These are all good indicators of financial and social need in an area. SA4 data is not shown in this instance, and generally only notable SA2s are listed in tables. Education and child development. This tab covers children that are developmentally vulnerable, and for the population as a whole, the level of schooling and the non-school qualification. Developmental vulnerability is a measure by the Australian Early Development Census, or the AEDC, and this is conducted every 3 years. The AEDC measures each child in prep on 5 different domains. These are physical health and well-being, social competence, emotional maturity, language and cognitive skills, and communication skills and general knowledge. The profiles show the proportion of children who are considered vulnerable in one or more of these domains as compared to the Queensland average. In this section, we also show the highest level of schooling for the general population, and also the proportion who have completed non-school qualifications, such as a certificate, diploma, bachelor degree or higher. Access and inclusion. RAQ identifies and considers the unique needs and experiences of people from 4 main groups. These are Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, culturally and linguistically diverse peoples, or CALD, people of diverse bodies, genders and sexualities, and people with a disability. The Inclusion tab attempts to cover CALD and those living with a profound and severe disability. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples are covered in another tab under the Indigenous, and those who identify as LGBTI are not covered, as there is currently very limited data collected on this group. CALD is presented at the top of this page and is followed by those with a disability. Within the CALD section, we look at those born outside Australia, and we drill down into the population proportions of those from non-English speaking backgrounds. The disability statistics are sourced from the census, which measure those with a severe or profound disability only. It does not show those with a functioning disability. And hopefully the NDIS will release figures by statistical areas, and we will be able to gather that data as well. Gambling. Although there are many different forms of gambling, gaming machine data or poker machines is the only data available at the statistical area level. This data, however, also has its limitations. While data is available regarding the number of poker machines, the data pertaining to the amount of money spent or metered win is restricted to protect the privacy of venue operators. The Office of Liquor and Gaming Regulation will not release metered win for those statistical areas which have 3 or less gaming venues, such as pubs or clubs. At this point in time, therefore, data can generally only be presented at the SA4 level. It's also important to note as well that metered win or spend at the SA2 level is not reliable as an indicator in terms of average spend per person, because people often travel from outside an SA2 to use gaming machines. Therefore, data or spend per capita is not a good indicator. The data that we show in the gambling section relates to the number of electronic gaming machines per 10,000 people, or rates in the population, and the average annual spend on gaming machines for the SA4 compared to the Queensland average. Domestic and family violence and crime. This tab represents the prevalence of domestic and family violence and crime against a person, or offences against a person within a region. These two topic areas are presented side by side. Firstly at the SA4 level, followed by the SA3. We look at rates within the population, or per 100,000, and we also show the actual numbers of applications or offences. Qualitative. This is an open area where users can enter anecdotal observations and comments about the related region. This is a really important feature of the profiles. Information here will complement the data, but it will also prove local knowledge and understanding, which is a key requirement for funding assessors. There's a whole wide range of information that may be entered here, and it's really up to you what you think is appropriate. Ideas here include links to news articles or publications, maybe comments by other stakeholders or community groups, and just general remarks and observations. Please be aware that any entries in this section should also have a corresponding date, so that we understand how recent the information is. Okay, so we've come to the end of the training. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen and learn about the profiles. This was a relatively brief overview, and there is a lot to take in here, so please get in touch if you have any questions. My email address is angelique@ferretsresearch.com.au. I will get back to you as soon as I can. I'm also really keen to hear your feedback about the profiles and your suggestions on how we can improve them. Please also share with me how you're using the profiles, what purpose you're using them for. Sharing those with others can help to build the data capabilities within the organisation. It also helps us understand their true value within the organisation, remembering that If the profiles are used and used often, it will be worth our while to keep them and improve on them and regularly update them with new information. Also, if you have requests for other data, please send that through and we'll see if we can collate that information and present that in the profiles as well. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. Please get in touch and thank you once again.